Hi, and welcome back to That's So Nova. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, I'm glad that you came back. Today we're going to be doing an new Oro Rosa pattern called the Fibi Fold-Over Cross-Body. I'm going to have the link to the pattern that is actually an affiliate link. An affiliate link is a link when you purchase this pattern. If you pay through my link, I get a small kickback, and I greatly appreciate it, and it helps the channel grow. But this is a new pattern from Oro Rosa. It's called the Fibi Fold-Over Cross-Body. The Fibi Fold-Over Cross-Body is very unique in its construction methods. It's super fun to sew. It has 3 unique recessed zipper pockets, 1 large pocket. The main compartment, it has a nice size slip pocket, and it's a new way to, it's a new way on a birthing technique, and I really like the way it came across. I'm going to show you the first one that I made, and we're going to be making a different one today. So as you can see, there is a zipper pocket right here. There's another zipper pocket in here. When you open it up, you have a third zip pocket. On the back, you have a 4th. This is also where the connectors go to make it a crossbody, and it's closed with this really fun magnetic snap, and you have a nice slip pocket. So we're going to get started in making this bag. Today I'm going to be using a very it's not marine vinyl, but it's not as thin as Mora. It is from Backstitch. It's called Dusty Rose. And I'm going to be using a very geometric, water resistant, not waterproof, but water resistant canvas that I got from Sewing Room Gardener. So let's get started. Most of the work, like pages 1 through 14, are pretty much prep work. So make sure you do all your prep work. It's important so that way you can move on to the next part. So like if you see on page 14, figure 16, I am like now going to be taping up, putting some double-sided tape on the lines that are mentioned in figure 14 and 16, so that way they can be ready to go when we get to that part. I did use the labels in the back. And I also clipped the pattern pieces that accordingly, so that way it can help me function when I go through this. And the bag can seem like there's a lot of components, but realistically there's not. So what we're going to first do is we're going to grab our front top pieces, piece G, and piece G has a front and a back. The front is going to have two pieces of stabilizer, 1 Decaville heavy and 1 Decaville light. And we're going to do some markings. We're going to find our centers. And do that for both pieces. Finding your centers is always the thing that can help you out the most. Apparently I didn't draw it well enough on here. Alright. We're going to get our magnetic snaps. You need 3 sets. Getting the coordinating washers. Getting those washers, and I think I need 1 more washer. That's how it always generally works out for me, where I'm always missing one thing. Like you get at the table, you put everything together, and you're like, yeah, I have everything, and then you realize you don't. That is me on a daily. Let me see if I can get a washer real quick. Okay, perfect. All right, So we're going to be making marks and using the washers as where to place it. So if we go hop on over to page 15, you can see where we're going to be drawing lines, finding the center, and making marks on it to find where we're going to put our top of the bag center magnets. So one there. And for the back trim, we want to make sure we're using, we're going to put our male prong in. Let's see. I'm just gonna mark these. And then I'm just going to do a little snip. Okay. Just put that aside for right now. And then we're going to do the same thing, find that same measurement. And just get that line for the center. I always have the hardest time with these washers. I don't know why. I think I like the riveted ones more because I don't have to deal with them, but I'm trying to use up all the ones I have so that way nothing goes to waste, you know? Okay, then we're going to hop over to page 16, and page 16 is going to tell us where we're going to put two male washer rivets, two male magnets on the other side. So we're going to find your center, and from your center, you're going to measure out the measurements are on page 16 by figure 8, by figure 28. I apologize, I can't talk today apparently. So I'm going to make my marks. Okay. And just like a small little snip. It doesn't have to be big. You put in the mill. Okay. Okay, and then I'm going to get some electrical tape and I'm going to place this on each piece. I am not winning with tape today either. I'm going to place this behind so that way it doesn't rub on the materials. I prefer electrical tape than duct tape. For some odd reason, I don't know what it is, but duct tape always comes off no matter what I do. This sometimes comes off. It's easier to put it back on. And I don't know if it's because it's electrical tape, it clings to metal so easy for me. All right. So we're going to put these away for right now. And then we're going to grab upper front pocket piece. I just had it. Alright, that's the middle front pocket piece. And here's the upper. On the upper, make sure you have your marks that are shown on the pattern piece. This one has a star and a triangle. We're going to find the center. You can just write it, drawing the center. Okay. And from there, we're going to measure out 1 1/4 of an inch down by 3 1/2 inch. This is the hardest part, I promise. Well, it's at least the hardest part for me. I'm always seem to be a little bit behind when it comes down to measurements. And we're going to install these last 2 magnets, and then we're going to move on to our zipper. Preparation is key for this. Once you prep all the pieces, I feel like it comes together beautifully. But we got this. Okay, we're going to install the females. And we're going to take double-sided tape with this. And 1 more piece. All right. So I'm going to clip this back to its pattern piece. And then we're going to grab our zippers. So you want to grab your zipper tabs that you made. There were 6 of them. And you want to grab your 9-inch zipper and your 2 11-inch zippers. You're going to take your piece and you're going to put them, fold your tabs right onto each other so wrong sides touchy, and we're going to stitch down at 3/8 of an inch. And we're going to do that for each piece on each side, taking one, folding it in half on itself, and then sewing it 3/8 of an inch. We're going to do that again on this side. All right, and then we're going to do this on the other side real quick. And just, you notice I haven't cut the threads. I'm pulling them long, and then I'll trim all the threads when I'm done. if you're trying to do these tabs with vinyl, it will get really thick. So I really do recommend like waterproof canvas, water resistant canvas, or like canvas, cotton, something that can fold and that doesn't, you know, cause you too much bulk. Okay. So now we're going to take the pieces and we're going to fold them on over each other and stitch down. So they're nice and clean in the front. And they have a nice fold in the back too. And I'm just taking them into each position and folding it over, kind of like an assembly line. And we're going to do the same thing on this side. Trimming those threads. I love the way these zipper tabs came out. They're so sleek, so clean. And it's another fun way of doing it. It's kind of just like binding your zippers. All right. So now I'm going to cut these individually between the strings. Not cutting my zipper tape. All right. So we have our 3 zippers done. We're going to grab our 4th and final zipper, which is the 10.5 one, and we're going to grab the zipper tabs that go with it. That I just had. I promise you I have it. I had it all like really organized, and then I get discombobbled really quickly, and then something goes unorganized. Okay, I had them. Get the strap out next. Or strap tabs. Okay. So here is, I have one exterior and one of a thin lining. And I'm going to put a clip there to hold everything in place. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. All right, we're going to sew this down using 3/8 of an inch. Making sure all the raw edges line up. I'm just going to bring this on over on this side. Oops, I didn't even catch the lining on this one. Let me redo that. So on this, what we're going to do is that we're going to trim these threads, and then we're going to trim back our exterior piece down to 1/8 of an inch. Just the exterior, not your zipper tape, not your lining. And then we're going to top stitch them using at 1/8 of an inch. Bring this over real quick. All right, so I'm going to get these threads, and then we're going to be working with pack 1, which is the straps. So you want to find your center, and you're going to want to base down. You're going to want to top stitch 1/8 of an inch down the sides of the straps. I'm going to use some double-sided tape to get down the center. Then we're going to find our center. Since these are 2 inch wide, it's only going to be a 1 inch mark. All right, so let's stitch this down using 1/8 of an inch down the long edge of the sides. Make sure you hold your tails, because if you don't, nothing will get sewn. You can put your strap connectors away for right now. And then we're going to do a strap. I'm going to get some double-sided tape. Okay, and we're going to fold this over on itself, leaving about a 1/8 of an inch gap so that when we're stitching, there's not like a bulge. Okay, we're going to sew down 1/8 of an inch down each of the long ends. You can put clips on there, more tape, whatever makes it easier for you. That's what you do. There's no right or no wrong way of making a strap. It's all about what works for you. done. Okay. Then we're going to get some hardware. You should have some swivel hooks and a slider. I'm using a wide mouth slider. Whenever I use vinyl, I use a wide mouth. But if you're using a webbing instead of vinyl, I highly recommend using a regular slider or a slim slider, not a wide mouth, because it won't lock into place, and that could be uncomfortable when your bag continuously slides down and you're just like, come on, stop the sliding. So let's get pack of rivets, and I'm going to rivet the slider into place first, and I'm eyeballing because it's 1 inch. I usually have more difficult if it's like a thicker, wider a wider strap, like when it's like 1.5 inch. I always have to get a marking tool to mark it out to be center. I'm marking it, and then I'm going to set this rivet. Okay, and then we're going to grab one of our, I don't know, anytime I try to cut any, like tear any of these plastics, they get all gummy on me, and I'm just like, come on, just rip, you know you want to. It's fun. So I'm gonna make sure my my strap is straight, and I'm going to feed the slider in one, not slider, hook, a swiveling hook through one end, and it should be nice and even. On the now open end, I'm going to slide this in, and I'm sliding it the same way as the wide mouth is positioning. So I want to see the bottom of the slider and the bottom of the swivel hook. I'm going to punch a hole, use a rivet, and rivet that in place, and we can put our strap away for now because we're all done. All right, we're gonna get into making the bag now. This is exciting. All right, so let's hop on over to page 23. I'm going to put this away for right now, and we're going to want to get the bottom, the lower front. We want to treat the lower front pocket and the lower front pocket lining. So I got the lower front pocket lining, and pattern piece E of the lower front pocket. All right. You're going to want to grab one of your 11-inch zippers, and we're going to start. Now, hear me. I'm going to say this. I made one. Do not be tempted to, we're really tempted to put 1/8 inch double-sided tape on our things in lieu of stitching. I wouldn't recommend it for this project, as when we do this first one, after you see how the construction is done for each pocket, then you can make your judgment call or read through the pattern, because you kind of need it to be stitched down. So I'm going to start off. We're going to get in the pattern. You see how the pattern piece is positioned. You should have it facing you the same way, where the little cone pointing in is facing me. Now you want your zippers to lay on top of your lining piece, and you want the zippers to be pulled to the right. I know that doesn't feel natural, but just trust the process. And we're going to top stitch or base this down using 1/8 of an inch. Okay. Then we're going to want to take our figure piece that has the hashtag on it and line it up here I'm just going to make sure it's lined up even. And we're going to sew this down using 3/8 of an inch. Now, back stitch the beginning and end. When you get a little bit halfway there, lift up the flap and move the zipper out of the way. Trim those threads. And then we are going to do a thing called understitching. If you make garments and you're very familiar, we're going to be pressing this. We want the seams to go. You want the seams to go towards the bottom of the bag so it lays the zipper flat. And we're going to, we're going to want the seams to go towards the pocket. I apologize. So it should look like all the seams are going up, and we're going to have the zipper lay flat, and we're going to stitch on the lining only, not, I know you're going to be like, I want a top stitch. No, we're under stitching, and there's a reason. It helps with how the bag lays into the structure. There are some in our group that did do it, and they look fine, but the bag is supposed to have like this like slouchy feel, so that way you can pack it with all your goodies and it won't bow. And if you top stitch, there's a good possibility that when you pack it up, it will bow out. Okay, so it looks like this. Now we're going to trim. We're going to take our exterior piece only, not the lining, and we're going to trim down that to 1/8 of an inch. Duckbill scissors would be incredibly helpful at this time. Do not trim the lining or the zipper tape. Okay, then we're going to take our other lining piece and lay it flat. We're going to base the zipper on it, and we're going to baste it on at 1/8 of an inch. And you just want to move your zipper out of the way. Okay. And as you can see, by doing that, because you cut the pieces mirrored and wrong sides and stuff like that, these pieces now fit. And we can now close this pocket up by lifting this up, don't sew into the zipper tape or tabs, and sew 3/8 of an inch all the way around. You can draw it, you can eyeball it, whatever makes it easier. Because there's nice straight lines, you can definitely draw and get a really clean pocket. Okay, and then you want to trim the excess lining down to 1/8. Okay, so we have one pocket done. So now we're going to grab if you have a name tag, you could place it anywhere you want around here. I was going to put one on, but I can't find the backing, so we're just going to pass that up. But you can place it anywhere you want down below. Now we're going to retrieve pack 3, which is the middle front pocket and the middle front pocket lining. So I have the middle front pocket lining and the middle front pocket. I'm going to take the pattern pieces, put them on the side, and we're pretty much going to be doing the same thing. You had hashtags, we have hashtags meeting hashtags. So this hashtag will go here too. So we will put this on. Wrong side is going to be showing out. And then we're going to sew this on at 3/8 of an inch. So make sure you have the hashtag with the hashtag, because the top should be the diamond. I mean the triangle. I could talk. I know I could talk today. And again, just be cognizant of your zipper pull. I like to sew a little bit and then I'll just move the zipper pull no matter where it is, because it's just peace of mind. Okay. So we have it looking like this. Okay, so we have our piece right sides up. And we're going to be turning to page 29. We're going to trim away the exterior where we just zipped to 1/8 of an inch. Not the zipper tape, not the lining, just the exterior. This helps reduce bulks and helps the zipper really sit into the recessed part. All right, so then we're going to finger press the pocket away from the middle pocket, and then we're going to top stitch from zipper tab to the other zipper tab 1/8 of an inch. You're like, Shinovo, you just told me not to top stitch. That's what we have to. The instructions are really important because they're very specific. So we're only doing on this piece zipper tab to zipper tab. Okay. All right. So then we're going to put this on the side and we're going to grab our exterior pieces, and you are going to want the one that is shown in the diagram. There's two, one's longer, one's shorter. We always, just for a rule of thumb here, we always are going to work with the shorter one first. We're going to grab one of our 11-inch zippers. This will be our last 11-inch zipper, actually. And then, again, place the zipper where the zipper pull is closing to the right. And we're going to base this on at 1/8 of an inch. Okay. Then we're going to place the top of this with the top of the lining together. Put some clips. going this way, and we're going to do 3/8 of an inch. Remove that zipper. Okay, and then we want to top stitch away from the lining. Only on the lining where all the seams go out away from the bottom. So we're going to top stitch on the lining fabric again, 1/8 of an inch. So as you can see, my seams are all facing towards the sewing machine, and that's what you want. Gonna move the zipper real quick. All right. All right. Then we're going to trim down the exterior again to 1/8 where the diamond is. The top of the diamond, just your exterior, not your lining, not your zipper tape. By the time I fully understood that this was like you're gonna do this for like 2 or 3 things, I was already at the top. I was like, man, I was ready for another one. So we're going to grab our lining piece and line it up. Line it up. Sorry, I'm just trying to make sure they're all lined up nicely. Line it up using 1/8 of an inch. Okay. All right. We are going to now sew this. We're going to move all this up. See, it's in front of us. We flip it over. We still have this pocket that's open. We're going to close off this pocket just like we did the other one. Three-eighths of an inch. Not sewing into the zipper. Okay. We're going to trim this down to 1/8 of an inch. Okay. And then we're going to grab, it's starting to come together. I'm like, I always get excited about this. We're going to grab the upper pocket, the one that has the magnets. And we're going to also grab the upper pocket lining. Okay. So it's the same thing. We're going to take the triangle part. It's really easy to get confused. The heart's going to be on top. The triangle is going to match the triangle piece that's down here. And we're going to line them up, and we're going to sew at 3/8 of an inch. So that's why in the prep work, really do what Alexis has asked you to do. It will help you more than you know. See where the zipper is. Okay. Okay, and then we're going to clip the diamond and just trim it away at only the exterior to 1/8 of an inch. Okay. And then we're going to top stitch this only tab to tab. One-eighth of an inch. Back stitch to lock in. Make sure all your pockets are going down so that you don't accidentally sew a pocket. That can happen so easily. Okay, so then what we're going to do right now is do something for the bottom. We're going to measure the bottom. We're going to want to measure 1/4 of an inch above where your Decavelle light is and 1 inch in. So 1/4 inch above and 1 inch in. So let me get a pen. So your Decavelle light is right here, so you're going to want to measure 1/4 of an inch above that line. So I'm going to do it here. So I'm going to mark 1/4 of an inch, and then I want to go 1 inch in. So I'm just going to draw a line that's 1 inch above. Then we're going to take our 2 exterior pieces here, and we're going to match them. I know they don't want to lay together, but they're meant to. So I just heard that. That doesn't sound right. Okay. Just, you want to make them merge. So we're going to sew this 1 inch line only to where it is. 1 inch, back stitch in the beginning and in. Because when you do this, this automatically starts making the fold that we need, the natural fold. So we did it here too. We have a 1 inch. We're going to take our 2 raw edges and lay them together, right sides together, and do a clip so they stay in place. And then we're going to move all of the pockets out of the way. So we're only sewing these 2 pieces of fabric where the 1 inch mark is, and sew, back stitch really well at the beginning and then at the end. Okay, let me show you before we go to the next step why you're doing this. Now when you lay it, there's a fold, a natural fold. Look at how gorgeous that is. And when you're in here, it's absolutely gorgeous. So that's why we have that. Now she has where you place a small rivet right at the edge, and we're going to do so. You won't really see this rivet, but it is, you know, a crucial part to have, to just make sure that this pocket stays where it's supposed to stay. So I'm going to do it right beside it with a hole, not getting nowhere into the stitching, because then everything we did was for naught. I'm going to grab 2 rivets. And then place the caps on here. This is just an extra form of security. Sorry, I'm moving you guys around a little too much. All right, and see how it kind of like buckles? Then when you lay it flat, the Decaville Light acts as like a lip. And look at how that is so sleek. So sleek. Alexis is so smart. So that's good. Let's start with our lining pieces. We're going to grab our lining pieces. And again, just grab always the shorter one. So just lay it out in front of you. Whatever the shorter piece is, that's the piece that we want to start with. And you're going to grab your 9-inch zipper. Again, make sure that when you're placing this, that you want the zipper pull to pull towards the right and not the left. Baste it on at 1/8 of an inch. Okay. Then we're going to lay this right sides together. I'm going to put a couple clips to hold it in place. We're going to sew this at 3/8 of an inch. Remove the zipper. Trying to get these threads as I go because they stack up. And then we're on page 34 and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to pull on the lining and we're going to top stitch. So you want all the seams to go towards the outside of the bag. 1/8 of an inch. Okay, we're going to trim away the exterior. So we're going to trim it down to 1/8 of an inch. Okay. My shoes are squeaking, I'm sorry. We had some flooding yesterday and I mopped up, but it's still damp and I'm wearing the Crocs. And so every time I touch anything, it just is like squeak, squeak. So we're going to turn this around and we're going to then baste this top part. So top just like we've been doing. as you can see, like it's starting to take its shape. It's just really cute. All right, so we have that. We're going to close off this pocket, flipping all this back and just exposing this 3/8 of an inch again, all the way around. Do not sew onto the zipper tape. Back stitch the beginning and end. You could draw all of the lines if you want to before during your prep. Just draw on your the tallest piece, and it'll be easier for you to navigate. Trimming the pocket down to 1/8 of an inch. Okay. All right, let me grab all this strings. All right. It looks exactly how it's supposed to right now. It's pretty cool. We're going to now grab the top part of the bag with the magnets. Now we want the one that has the 3 magnets. Okay. And I know it will be really easy to think that it goes like this. It doesn't. You need to rotate this around so that the hearts are touching. Let's see. So, I'm sorry, you want to have it where the long edge. You want to find your center. Your center will help you out tremendously here. And I'm just going to fold this zipper tape real quick and find the center. And put some clips. I put a lot of clips on this one because the magnets are pulling on each other. And we're going to sew this at 3/8 of an inch. Hold your tails. Okay, I'm trying to make sure that I got exactly it on the... And the magnets, since you have so many there, it's gonna want to pull. So just make sure you have things as stable as you possibly can. All right. We're going to sew tab to tab again on top stitch. This is how it's supposed to look. I know you're like, Genova. Everything's gonna work out, I promise. Tab to tab. I wonder, like, in the thought process of making this, when she was at this part, she was like, yeah. So we're going to trim, we're going to trim all the exterior down to 1/8 of an inch. Not the lining, not the zipper tape. Don't nick your zipper tape. That's why I think duckbill scissors would be ideal for this. But you work with what you got, right? All right, so we're going to go to page 37, and we are going to sew these darts at 3/8 of an inch. So you're just folding it over, making sure that they're nice and even, putting the dart underneath 3/8 of an inch and line it up to the 3/8 of an inch, and where it naturally falls off the 3/8 of an inch is where the dart's supposed to be. Then we're just going to trim into the dart a little bit. And you'll have like little V's. So this is going to go like this. Okay. And now we're going to start folding this so that way it can fit on top of each other. The zipper tape goes right lines up with the Decaville light, and then just put a clip. Take a zipper tape tab and make sure that the tab lines up with the Decaville light, put a clip. Zipper tab, clip. So when you're looking at this, you're going to have 3 recessed zippers. You're going to have 1 here, 2, and then your 3rd here. Once you have all that and they're all lined up pretty neatly, and again, you're just making sure that zipper tab is lining up with the Decaville. We're going to baste it in place. Just those, to make sure that it doesn't move anymore. So just get everything nice and neat. And just take your time. And you can see it has a nice round shape, so I'm just going to baste this on using 1/8 of an inch. Okay. And we're going to do the same thing on this side. And the pockets should be completely out of the way. Look how pretty that is. That is gorgeous. I'm telling you, she's a genius. So you have 1 zipper here, 1 zipper there, and there. So we got this. We got the front really well. let's start working on the lining. I'm going to put this on the side. So let's grab our 2 lining pieces, which will be pattern piece K. Okay, and then we're going to want our slip pocket and our slip pocket sides. Okay. If you're going to put a name tag, you could put a name tag about a 1.25 inches down the center, and you could put one there if you wish. I am like low on everything. I don't even have a name tag at this point. I'm sorry, guys. We're going to start conducting the slip pocket. We had that part of our prep where we had to draw measurements on the short ends, and then we put double-sided tape there, so that way we don't have to, or you press it, but it can contain all raw edges. Okay. Beautiful. Then we're going to take our slip folds and we're going to attach those side pieces to the slip pocket. They were in the cutting instructions. And it was advised to not have, for the side pieces, to have something that doesn't fray. Okay, we're going to sew this down at 3/8 of an inch. Back stitch at the beginning and end. Okay, we're going to trim those threads. And then you're going to turn to page 41. We're almost done. Trust and believe. It's like we're at the home stretch right now. We're going to trim the slip pocket sides. And we're only going to trim the side exterior pieces, not the main piece on itself. Just trim it down to 1/8 of an inch. I'm trying to hold my scissors at an angle, so that way when I cut it, it acts like it's duckbill scissors. Okay. Then we're going to flip this to its back, and then we're going to grab some double-sided tape, and we're going to do double-sided tapes on the raw edges of the slip pocket. So where the raw edges are. Okay, and then we're going to remove the double-sided tape, and we're going to match the raw edges and kind of like encase it so it's nice and smooth and clean. Okay, and then we're going to fold it in half on itself. And if you have any like little furries, like little fuzzies from like the vinyl or whatever, that's when you can use your lighter just to get rid of them. But my lighter just went MIA, so that's not happening. So we're going to fold it. And we're going to measure, we're going to find our centers. We're going to measure 1 3/4 of an inch up. I'm just using some chalk here. And we're going to stitch this on. You can use sew tights or whatever you have to keep it in line. That's why I drew a line. It's just easier for me to see the line. If I see the line, I can keep everything nice and still. Okay, we have a nice pretty pocket there. And we're going to now put some rivets on the side of this so that it can be an extra cute feature as well as extra security. Need 2 rivets. I can never get these little baggies open. They're like my personal kryptonite. I'm putting the female in the male. Okay, so we have that. Let's hop on over to page 43 and we're going to put these on the side real quick and we're going to grab our exterior back piece H. You're going to grab the back pockets. You're going to grab your connectors, your middle piece, your zipper. We have a lot of little things we're going to be hitting up first. We're going to first grab the smaller piece of the back piece, and I like to find my center and do a little snip. I'm going to find my center here. And I'm just going to use, I would use chalk normally, but you guys would not be able to see it. So I'm going to use this pink pen on this pink fabric, so it won't be that noticeable. And I'm keeping it within the seam allowance. I'm not drawing like a huge line. I'm doing it like 1/4 of an inch. Make sure you have the zipper tab going exactly, pulling to the right again. And just put some clips here. You're going to have things hanging over, and that's going to be fine. It's supposed to be like that. So we're going to base this on using 1/8 of an inch. Okay. We're going to then place this on top of the exterior piece. And again, this is, I'm going to find my center and match the lines. Okay, we're going to sew this together using 3/8 of an inch, and it is supposed to be smaller. She's really good at keeping things out of the seam and reducing bulk. 3/8 of an inch. Getting close to the zipper pull. I forgot to back stitch. Okay. We're going to press this pocket down, and we're going to top stitch across 1/8 of an inch. And then we're just going to trim the exterior down as much as you can to 1/8 if you're able to. Not the lining, not the zipper tape. I know you're like, Shova, you said this like 6 times already. Okay. All right. Then we're going to grab our back piece, and we're going to find our center. Line it up here. And we're going to sew this on using 1/8 of an inch. Now, since this is the pocket that we're going to be birthing from, we're going to draw some lines right now to have our bag opening. So just like right after it turns, it goes into the straight. So it has this big curve and then it goes straight. You want to give yourself a 4 to 5 inch birthing hole. So we're going to start on one side and we're going to back stitch very well. Make sure not getting in the zipper. And go through that curve, 3/8 of an inch, to the line that we drew and back stitch really well. Now, I'm going to pick up my needle and take the thread with me to the next line. And I'm going to start back stitch to 3/8 of an inch all the way around. All right. Going to trim. I'm going to cut these threads where we dragged. You're not going to cut in the opening because we're going to close it up later. And it just helps to have it. Okay. All right. So then we're going to go to page 45. And we're going to get your back pocket zipper trim. And we're going to find the center. Put it on there. move this zipper. I'm going to move the zipper past the halfway point so that way I can get this lay a little bit flatter. We're going to sew this on at 3/8 of an inch. Okay, then we're going to trim back the zipper, the exterior one that we did to 1/8, not the tape, not the lining, just the exterior piece. See, this is why I said no double-sided tape. Things will get gummy and yeah, it wouldn't be the best. Then we're going to flip this up. We're going to baste this across at top stitch at 1/8 of an inch. Okay, and then while we're here, we're just going to cut around the natural curve of this. There is a curve, and just follow it to the next connection and it will clean up nicely. So we'll do it again on this side. There, you can kind of see, if you were to draw, there's a line that you can connect and you can then snip, and then you have your piece all done on that side. Okay. So, and then just to help with bulk, just you can kind of snip and not into your seam allowance, like into the allowance, to kind of reduce bulk around the edges. That helps you out in the later steps. All right, so then we're going to get our connectors. Okay, and then you're going to want your 1-inch rectangle rings, D-rings, O-rings, whatever you have. And you're going to feed them through. And do the same. Okay. We're going to want to put these, position them about 1 3/4 of an inch from each side. Just going to make a mark. And you want about a 1/2 inch hanging off. So I'm just going to draw a 1/2 inch mark that I'm going to stitch on so you won't be able to see. So 1/2 inch hanging, and then we're going to baste that on with 1/8 of an inch. Okay, and I'm going to do the same on this side. And you're, from the 1 3/4 of an inch, you're putting it in towards the line, not on the outside of the line, because that would just leave you 3/4 of an inch. And the hardware would get, oh, I didn't even sew it on. It just, okay. Okay. Getting all those threads. All right, then we're going to grab our other top piece, the back top piece, and we are going to line these up together. And we're going to sew at 3/8 of an inch. Make sure your hardware is up and out of the way. Okay, and then you're going to want to have your we're going to want to trim just the exterior top piece down to 1/8 of an inch. I promise you, this is so worth it. I love this technique. It's a good thing to remember to, you know, trim, because trimming can sometimes make or break the way the bag looks. So I'm all about this right now. All right. We're going to want to have the connectors face towards the downside of the bag, and then we're going to top stitch on the middle panel, 1/8 of an inch. And reducing that bulk helps this sewing process out tremendously. Okay. Then we're going to put rivets. Okay. Okay, and then we're just feeding the male through and then putting the female in the back. Then we're going to set it. Okay. Now we're going to start putting the lining in the exterior pieces together. So since I already have the back piece out, I'm going to grab the back pocket because that's where I want this to sit. And I'm going to line these up together and I'm going to sew them at 3/8 of an inch. We're at the final countdown. Okay, we're going to trim away the main lining layer. I know. Hear me out. Lining, not exterior. Okay. And then we're going to lay this flat and make sure the seam is this seam that we just trimmed down. Everything's going up. And we're going to sew top stitch 1/8 of an inch on the lining piece. Okay, we're going to do the same exact thing to the other side. This sewn down at 3/8 of an inch. trim those threads. And then we're going to trim the lining piece down to 1/8 of an inch in the seam. Okay. Top stitch, making sure all the seams are going towards the upper bag, and we're going to just top stitch the lining. Okay, so you can kind of snip in the areas that you think will be into the seam, but not into the seam stitches. And so we're just trying to make things a little bit more easier when we're putting these things together. Now we're going to be doing this. We're going to be putting this bag together. So first thing you want to do is make sure your back pocket is completely open. Okay? You're going to match up your pieces so that they sit together. And remember, you're kind of fighting with magnets, so give yourself some grace and patience because you're doing a lot. You just did we're almost done with the bag, basically. We're just clipping everything together right now. I'm kind of just moving the pockets out of the way. I'm just putting clips. Let's see. Just laying everything down as flat as I can and clipping. Take your time. There's a lot to maneuver around. And clipping is just half the battle. So that way, if you do this all now when you're sewing, it just makes it so much easier for you. Remove strings, any excess little fur or burrs, like I like to call them. Okay. All right, and I think we're ready to go. So we're going to sew this whole thing around using 3/8 of an inch, and then we're going to trim it down. There's no opening, so make sure that zipper pocket is open in the back. Just be careful, you know, there's magnets and there's pockets. Take your time. Take your time, move with the curves. And make sure your pockets are out of the way because you don't want them to accidentally get sewn up or down and you're going to have to do some unstitching. I like to spread the little bulk even with the dart I'm just moving the pockets out of the way as I'm doing this. Okay, we did it. All right, so see, I still have threads everywhere. All right, we're going to trim this down to 1/8 of an inch. Take your time. Okay, get this. And there's one area I need to just sew over real quickly, like 1/16 of an inch above where I had it, because I cut it too close to the 1/8 of an inch. And I feel like when I poke out the seams, it's gonna act a donkey. All right, so let's birth it. We're gonna go to the back pocket, and you could just reach inside and take the lining however you want to do it. It's nice and soft because there's not a whole lot of interfacing. When I first made this, I was like, oh, it's been so long since I birthed the bag. We're gonna take our time. Just gonna poke out the lining too. Okay, and I'm just going to come in here and refold. I'm going to make sure all the lining is going the same direction, going down towards the bottom of the bag. And then I'm just going to tuck this in for right now. Okay. Then we're going to open up the top of our bag and we're going to push this lining in. Now, right here, I contemplated my life. I was like, oh my God, this is not right. So what you have to do is, you can see that there's Decoville Heavy that we did on the top one. We need to push down the lining so this Decoville Heavy is on the inside of the bag. I was like, what? Oh. So now this closes here. When you fold this over, it closes here. It helps when I take these plastics off. And I'm just going to Make sure that all the pockets are laying flat. Look at how sleek this looks. You just made this. You did a good job. This is... I kind of want to go somewhere fancy. I need to have my yesterday was our anniversary. Maybe I can be like, look, I have a new bag. I need to go out on the town, get a fancy dinner. Look at that. So now we're just going to close up this pocket. And I like to before just to give a little poke to my darts. Oh, that's so beautiful. Okay, we're going to, I like to poke out all the corners to my lining piece, and then I'm going to fold this in. I'm just going to put my fingers in and just do a nice taut, and it kind of folds in. See, it's not folded in, and if I'm trying to, it'll mess up. So go into the areas that we backstitch, go nice and taut, and then you can clip. And we're going to close this up with a 1/8 of an inch stitch on the bottom. Okay. And we're going to tuck that in the back. You have a gorgeous, nice little date thing. You have not 1, 2, but 3 nice sized pockets. Look at that. You could put a nice phone in here. Oh my god, yeah, my phone's kind of filling this bag. Maybe that's why I like the colors. Okay. And then this is the second pocket. Phone could go in there too. The third pocket, phone is a no bueno, but pens, lip balm, lip glosses, lipsticks, or anything else can go in there. Secret candy stash. I'm here for that. So what's your favorite candy? You can put it in the comments. I'm asking my favorite candies like asking what my favorite star in the galaxy is. It's not fair. I love them all equally. And then we have a nice big pocket inside here with a great slip pocket that you can put your phone in, and then another pocket in the back. Clip on your straps, and now it is a crossbody or a shoulder bag. You can possibly make another swivel hook with just like a wrist strap, and this is like a perfect date bag. Oh god, I can see these for prom too. It's prom's coming up. It's that season. So we are all done here with the Fibi bag. If you have any questions in reference to this bag, please put them in the comment down below. I just realized my nails match the bag too. I don't like pink. My favorite color is this blue. Okay, if you have any questions in reference to this Fibi bag, leave a comment down below. If you would like to purchase it, I would really appreciate you purchasing it with my affiliate link that will be inside the description box. I'm using a Juki 1541S machine. You can use this on you can make this bag on a domestic, semi-domestic, industrial, whatever you have. This bag you can make it. It does not have a lot of materials to it. You get a beautiful result with a new way of making it. I use Tech 70 thread from Amon, and like I said, this pink faux leather. This is called Dusty Rose from Backstitch Fabrics, and that is it, my friends. I hope everyone has a wonderful day, and I can't wait to see you. If you would like to learn more information about me, I do have a Patreon. If you're like Shnova, like I could not make this bag. I was not filling the mirrors. I didn't know how to do it, and you helped me out. You're such a good visual learner teacher. I want to thank you. I do have a Ko-fi account if you wanted to buy me a cup of coffee. So I will talk to y'all later, and I hope everyone has a really phenomenal day. Bye.